Guys, I have never seen a country so controlled by the left in my life. I'm sure in the days of Jesus Christ, we had the same thing. You've got a sheriff and the school shooting saying, we're never going to release the video of 4 police officers that refused to go in during the shooting. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it was a military operation and they knew it. And that the 4 people that came out and said that there was multiple shooters are very correct. So we're not getting all the facts. They won't release the video. They're not going to let the real witnesses tell their story. Let's talk about the FISA documents. So somebody's going to meet and say, okay, we're not going to release the fact that the Democratic Party has been paying trillions of dollars to Judith Iscariot type of people, most of them are foreigners, to infiltrate and target certain individuals that are conservatives. Not just Donald Trump, but millions of Americans they've been targeting because they have unlimited funds. So, wait a minute. I just remember people talk about how bad the Wild Wild West was. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot better than it is today because people would have gotten together and said, I want to see the evidence. Period. Show me the evidence. There is no way that in the Wild Wild West, when when God's law was real, that you would have a sheriff say, oh no, we're not going to release you the video. What? That's our video. It belongs to the human beings. It doesn't belong to you. No way would we have a Congress or a bunch of fascists tell us that we can't see the FISA stuff. That's part of national security. Really? You treated human beings like test subjects, like mind mapping and microwaving people to death and electronic torture and covert harassment and stalking and murder. They murdered my daughter. Just because I'm a conservative, they murdered my daughter. And that's a fact. My daughter was a conservative too. Okay? So I know they targeted my daughter. They typically target everybody in your family. They either hire them or they target them. So it goes back to the story of Judas Iscariot and Jesus Christ. Every disciple betrayed him because they were afraid of man instead of the Creator. You know? Us truthers are standing up here saying, hey, we're willing to die for the truth. You know? And then you have people that go, oh no, I don't want to die for truth. I'm a disciple, but I don't want to die for truth. Well, hell, I mean, I don't know how many death attempts that I've had on my life. The other day, a guy that was part of these programs hung himself. I've been reading about people hanging themselves all over the place. This guy thought the cops were coming to get him for 2 weeks. This is what I was told. And then all of a sudden, he hangs himself. This makes no sense for a guy that just had a baby and that has a son and was about to get married. Something is wrong. Maybe somebody wrote, okay, this is how you get your man to kill himself or whatever. I don't know. But somebody was working with somebody to get a man that was in a magazine a few months ago for being one of the top chefs to hang himself. Oh, by the way, it was in my apartment that now, when they took my YouTube channel down, and then all of a sudden the guy hangs himself, I feel like somebody was threatening him and he was scared shitless. That's what I think happened. Just like people threatened my YouTube channel. So at the same time, my YouTube channel is being taken down. Okay? And here's the worst catch. The guy was a witness in my trial. He was a witness. He actually gave me evidence. And the police know it. The police knew that he gave me evidence. I was even questioned about it. What are you doing with this evidence? I said, well, he gave it to me. He also gave me a written statement. So now the guy's dead, kind of like Hollywood. Oops, he hung himself. I don't believe the official story. This guy was a psyop that started to be my friend and started to see what was really going on in the world. And he probably didn't want to be a psyop anymore. But guess what? What did I tell you? All of you that have taken money from these people will want to hang yourself. How many times I've been saying this for 8 years? Judas Iscariot hung themselves. All betrayers. When you realize what you've done, that you didn't betray the bad guy, you betrayed the good guy. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. And these bad guys are so bad, they're willing to kill you to cover up their crimes. Why would everybody in my life, I promise you, from my ex-wife to my ex-girl, your life, everybody that has psyoped me, Michael Finney, you name it, Sal, the ex-police officer in my workplace, and all my co-workers, your life is in danger, just like mine now. Because when these FISA documents are released, they're going to see these programs. And these people are going to want to cover up what they did. And the only way to cover it up is for you to be dead. There is no reward in betrayal. Not with God, and certainly not with man. Matter of fact, the elite have no respect for you. You don't think they hired American Indians to betray their own people? All you got to do is watch some spaghetti westerns and you'll see that some of the American Indians were riding with the soldiers. There were many American Indians willing to take money and favors to betray their own people. And of course, they were using mind control and manipulation and, possessions and money. They were using all kinds of things to get these American Indians to betray the shaman and the good guys. They did it before. They did it in Germany. They did it in the American Indians. They do it every time there's an inner war, a civil war. Every single time. I mean, the story of Judas Iscariot and Jesus is exactly what's happening today. And I don't want people to kill themselves. I want you to, you have an opportunity right now to face up to what you did and go testify. You have that opportunity. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't doubt it if Marvin did do that. And instead of the cops saying, okay, let's take this information down, he was erased. How can a man that had everything going for him all of a sudden start saying the cops are coming to get me, and now he's dead? I even asked a police officer at the scene. I said, did you know that for 2 weeks he was saying the cops are coming to get me? I told the officer that. Well, there's evidence. He didn't say, well, would you want to give a statement, sir? No. He just laughed it off. Because they all know what the fuck's going on. They know what's going on. And they know that he was a pawn in the chess game of the Democratic Party, paying people to covertly target so that they can win elections. If the conservatives are all gone, then they dominate the world. They can bring in their artificial intelligence and get rid of God and have Satan sitting at the top of their throne. And that's a fact. All right, guys. I love you all. Stay safe. Be alert. Look up. Speak up. Don't betray your brethren. Don't betray your brethren. Please. And don't let these people take away your guns. You need your guns more than anything right now. Disarming people is a very, very bad idea, especially when you have a Democratic Party that is being funded by foreign banksters that are willing to do anything to win elections. You're going to have to defend yourself. Because when they take away your food, that'll be the Democrats taking away your food. And they will. They're going to take away your food and water. Those are the ones that fracked your wells and poisoned your ocean. and to do all the geoengineering, weather warfare, and all that. That's in the directed energy weapon, earthquakes and tidal waves, and those are the ones that do that shit. Certainly not conservatives doing that shit. So when all this happens, you're going to need a weapon.